Good evening, everybody. This is Chuck Jarrett at Couple of Ministry, and tonight is the word of our testimony, and we have my brother here, Stephen Howerton, and we're gonna, first of all, thank you, brother, and we're gonna open up in prayer. Father God, we love you, Lord, and we thank you for this opportunity that we can get together and just share our story, Lord, to help others come to Christ and to know that they're not alone, and that what they've been through, that there's other people that have been through it too, that they have somebody to look up to and to ask them, Lord, help me through this. And Father God, we just give you all the praise and all the glory, and we just make it all about you, Lord. And this testimony, Lord, is to glorify you, Father God. And we have to tell our past for people to know where we come from, Lord. And we just thank you and we praise your name. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Hey, brother.
Howdy, howdy.
Well, my buddy just got off work too, and we both got ugly work shoes on. But he is here to give us testimony. He is our sound, light, and all around anything I need. He's my right-hand man, and I am so thankful that he's in my life, and mine and Patty's. We love him, and he's just a joy to have around, and to keep us knowing that we're alive, man. It's pretty exciting. And anyways, I'm gonna let him tell us a little bit about yourself. First of all.
All right. Now, first of all,
yeah.
Testimony. There's a lot to do with the testimony. It means a lot. And I'll tell you a little something about Chuck's testimony that he don't tell nobody is and it touches my heart. That's why what that testimony touches my heart to strive to be like, and it is that he don't sell nothing. He won't sell nothing. Mm-hmm. And if that's still true.
Oh yeah, I give it away.
That's an awesome thing to not worry about that kind of thing. So I just wanted to give you a round of applause for that, Chuck, and I love you for that.
I love you, man.
So where are you going to start at?
First of all, tell what do you do for a living?
I'm a heavy equipment operator, and now it's a little mini excavator.
Moving dirt around.
Yeah, I dig around utilities. I dig around live utilities. We do electric for our electric power company around this area. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty, it's pretty living on the edge.
Exciting.
We don't break something.
I'm sure you're moving a lot of rock around being Arkansas, man. We did rocks around here. But, tell me a little bit about your upbringing and your family life and where at.
Right, so most of my family is right in this area. So my grandma, so when I was younger, I'll just give you some of the memorable things.
That's right.
So I think I was about 8 years old. I had an older brother. He's 12. My grandma lived in Lampe. She had a bar. No offense to my child raising. I'd go up there on the weekends. They'd be my babysitter. I danced with a bunch of drunks up there. They'd give me dollar bills or whatever just to get away from them or whatever. And I'd wash your little mugs, glass mugs and everything. I still remember Pamela Anderson in the bathroom in her bathing suit, and it was just a good time. It was good, even though it was in that kind of environment. I didn't get to see a dead person, but somebody got stabbed outside the bar. Numerous fights. I've seen my step grandpa jump flat-footed over a bar and kick a dude. And it was pretty knock him out, and he was drunk, but still he done it. So that's my mom. She was married to my grandpa, my mom's real dad. They were separated at the time that I can remember. We went to go visit him. He was up in Missouri. He had property in Mark Twain National Forest, and me and my brother, we drove. He got a brand new four-wheeler. I didn't know this. We spent all day on a Saturday driving. We come back, and my grandpa, and we'd been just tearing up these two big fields with these tall plants in them.
Yeah.
And that come find out there's a bunch of pot plants out there. And me and my brother, we had to put 100 miles on that 4-wheeler that day, and he's like, man, how? That same visit, he was a Golden Glove boxer, Navy. My grandma did love the Navy guys, so he taught us a few things that weekend. But we done that weekend. A couple months later, I guess him and my step-grandma got in a fight, and he shot her in the head. She lived, but come to find out, this is back in the mid-'80s. Come to find out he had a meth lab under a trailer and all the pot, so he spent most of he died in a federal prison in Missouri. So and I got his Foot Locker box. It come with his stuff. It's pretty good, pretty cool stuff. But that's the only thing I remember my mom's side of her parents, the memorable things. But yeah, and she did tell us. She said my brother was like, we want to go to my grandma's. We want to go to the bar again. She's like, walk.
Yeah.
She didn't know me and my brother. My brother was older, and we knew straight as crow flies the quickest way. So we ain't gonna walk the roads. We're gonna go through the fields, through the woods, or whatever to get to where we're going. She had a party out looking for us. We made it to Blue Eye. We popped out on the highway. Somebody gave us a ride like 2 more miles. But she beat her ass that day. I apologize. She beat her butt that day. So I love my grandma. My grandma that lived there, she was awesome. She taught me how to sew. She taught me how to garden. I mean, she showed me love. She showed me a lot of things.
That's awesome.
I still got a lot of respect for her, but she did get taken away at a young age. And that was pretty much all that. And after my grandma died, my uncle, he didn't really have nothing to do with it. So that's the only side of the family that we got left over there. So then my dad's family was my grandma. She died at a young age too. I remember the only really memorable thing she done was me being a fat kid that I was, and not getting the way he wanted. He would always hold his breath till he passed out and try to get something like that. So
did that work?
It done 1-2 times, but after that, people learned off. They beat me. So my grandma, I done that, and my mom, I didn't know she told her. So when I come through, she made me go out there and get a switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a willow tree. And, that was a good one. So, but she ended up dying at a young age, so I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her. She was, the only thing I knew about that, she liked pills. I guess she was a value. She liked values or whatever. Prescribed her. My grandpa, he was 75% Indian. So, and I guess my ancestors never did sign the peace treaty, so we ain't entitled to nothing. So there's Blackfoot around here. Nobody signed nothing.
Rebels.
Yeah, they still wanted to. So that's pretty cool. Just even know that little fact about our family.
That is cool.
So we ended up moving out. He ended up getting sick. So he got married and he had some property, and the step-grandma, at the time for him, she weaseled her way in there, got herself put on the deed and all that, and trying to get her to sell it and all this. And this is homestead land. So my dad, my uncle, they went to court and all that, and they ended up getting divorced. She didn't want that. So we took care of grandpa the last dying age. He had Alzheimer's. So and it was right down the road here. Me and my cousin. My cousin he was 2 years older than me, and my brother. All right, so let's just go ahead and start with my brother. So my brother was 4 years older than me. I see my dad beat his ass. My dad beat my butt. Sorry, again. Beat.
Yeah.
My mom had to get in there and take some licks just to give us a break because it was that bad. So that was our raising. So my brother, at the time I didn't know he was my half brother. So my brother liked to walk. Like he said, we walked to my grandma's, and it was like 10 miles away. I guess he liked to steal. He liked to steal stuff. he stole a dirt bike from one of the neighbors in a neighboring town, and ended up wrecking it and got road rash, and it went on for like a couple weeks, and he about lost his leg because he wouldn't tell nobody, but he ended up telling somebody, and my dad went out in the field and found a dirt bike and all that, and returned it and all that, and they ended up sending him to Alexander, or like some juvie place for boys, so they got him out of there. At the time, my dad, so growing up for my brother, he couldn't do good enough really. He wanted the best, my brother to do his best, and my brother couldn't really succeed sometimes. So this transpired, and he got out of juvie, and at that time, my parents got divorced. I ended up staying with my dad, and my brother went with my mom, R8, for growing up, and then at that time we was taking care of my grandpa out here, and me and my cousin, being our age, we'd think my grandpa would be our designator or chauffeur, or we'd drive, but he'd be our 1 over 21, so we could go do things. We'd go anywhere. We'd do all kinds of stuff with my grandpa, and not always good things. We used to shoot fireworks out the back of the car while we're driving around and stuff, just raising hell, being a couple little kids. But we did involve him too. He didn't know about, because we done him wrong. Because he had dementia. He was going senile. We take care of him until he got violent, started getting real violent, and they had to let him go to the nursing home. That's another thing. My grandpa, I don't know how people feel about letting kids see people dying or dead. That wasn't my grandpa. Bottom line, that wasn't my grandpa. I don't remember that as my grandpa in the nursing home over here in Eureka. It was traumatic. And he was only like 90 pounds, and he used to be a 300-pound guy. Wow. And I was like, no. I ran out of there. I was like, no, I don't know what it is, but that ain't him. And that's the way I remember it, and that's the way I'm going to stick with it. So we lost him. My brother was gone, so my dad, he's always been, he's a smart man. He was a smart man. He loved stock. He loved money. He was a computer genius back when, in the 80s, when computers wasn't just starting out. So, and they was going to offer him, I forgot, like $70 back then to move to California. And he just had me. And my brother was older, so, he had 2 kids, but I didn't know at the time that he used me as an excuse, but at the time, see, my brother, couldn't find out, we didn't find, when my parents got divorced, I went to my dad's and my mom, and my brother went to my mom's, so we found out a lot of things about the world then. I already knew about Pamela Anderson and the bar and stuff like, and what beer tastes like at 8 years old. Yeah. But then you find out what your family does in the courtroom, and what people do to other people that are married. So I guess for whatever reason Dad done weird things to my mom or something. I don't know. It's irrelevant to me. But they ended up getting divorced. So I stayed with my dad. I love my dad. My dad wanted the best for me. So my brother got out of JVC. He ended up coming back. But he's at my mom's. I love my mom to death. But my brother loved to steal. My brother loved to steal tools. He loved to go to schools and break in and steal all the mechanic and tools. He was addicted to it, and it ended up getting him. I think they gave him 10 years for breaking in a bunch of schools down in Harrison. He was doing time there. He ended up getting leukemia, been diagnosed with leukemia. But during the divorce, I found out that my brother wasn't my brother. He was my half brother. And being the snot-nosed little kid that I was, used to tell my brother that that's my dad. Shit like that. He was telling me, no, my dad won't do that. No. My brother ended up going to prison. I seen him once or twice before then. they got diagnosed for leukemia. So they tried to do bone marrow, and they knew since I was half brother and he didn't have no other siblings, it wasn't looking good for him. My dad, showing the love, tried to get governor pardons after governor pardons. He would have done anything for my brother. I didn't know that till later than when my dad died. That I found out he'd done all this extra trying to help my brother, try to make it up or whatever. So we ended up losing my brother. He died. Like he only had it a little bit longer. He died in Arkansas prison. So I've always it's difficult now. It's Pine Bluff.
How old were you?
I was 16 about then. He was 20 or 21. Yeah, he just turned 21 after that. So, and he'd been gone. But I love my brother. He died. The only way I could make it up, it tore me up. I cried by his grave so many times about the stuff you could say. Can't get some tissue.
Yeah, I got him right here, man.
Thank you. I cried many times about it. Might have been drunken, crying, or whatever, but I still weep for the shit I done to that boy. I had the only thing I learned something from AA. They taught me that write a note, write a sincere letter, and if you can't give it to them, bury it with them or whatever. If you can't, I try, and that's something I can say to a meet guy again. And I'll stick with my brother's testimony because he died in Pine Bluff. I ended up getting sentenced to RPF. It's a halfway house or a low minimum security prison for possession. I didn't have a tooth in my head. I was 20 years old, and I got so they sent us to the big houses to the hospital, and it was in Pine Bluff. And boy, I hated that place. I hated it with passion because when my brother died, a guard called my mom the day after and said, "Hey, you need to have somebody look into his death."
Yeah.
So we did. We tried. Man, you know how the part of that goes. And that's only going to go so far.
Yeah.
Unless you're in that place, you're.
No.
It's got a fence for a reason.
Yeah. Right.
So they're only a little bit nothing really got done about it. Because the only thing it said that was that he was in a room by himself and he was unconscious. Bringing that up, and he was a strong ass man too, and he was in a diaper on a ventilator machine. Now ain't my brother either. So I had to go to the waiting room. But I was 16 then. But still, I didn't want to see that. That was my brother. They let him go. And that's what I thought was so crazy was he was in prison, but nobody was home. He was at a hospital, didn't have him handcuffed, but had him in a diaper on a ventilator machine where we could go get down there long enough to see him. Man, that's just crazy. I hate it. So I know this about Pine Bluff. I had to go get my teeth done. They pulled them all out or whatever. So I do ride with the motorcycle group, a CMA group, and they do outreach to prisons and things. And this is how my God works. He knew that. So I gave my testimony 4 times. Once outside another place, and 2 times in prison. And I want you to tell them what's going on in my life right then and there. Man, then they knew that. I told them about Pine Bluff, and I was doing a testimony there. And they have a pathway to freedom, they call it. It's for prisoners to get it, and they might give them a little time off of them, but it's a biblical-based program.
Yeah.
We're helping them for pre-release of prison.
Yeah.
And and they had all these pictures up against the wall. Yeah, I was going through there. I see my brother.
Nice.
So at least I know. I think he's saved. I know he's saved because of that right there.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome to have the Holy Spirit because he knew my heart, and then just see that it was awesome. I don't have no regrets about not going to Pine Bluff. I don't have no.
That was worth it all. Right
Yes,
there,
that was worth it
man.
all. Because them were my chains. Them ain't nobody else's chains but my chains.
Yeah.
And that's how testimony works.
Yeah.
because we really are changed. We get it out there. So with that being said, then. All right, so where was I at 16 there with him? So my dad, I ended up losing him, but that was part of my testimony. So I jumped before I got to come back.
It's all right, man. That's the way I go.
So I was 20 and I got sentenced to prison. I done my time. Since I was 12, I got put on probation when I was juvenile. I had 2 years there. I didn't have. So when I turned 18, they come with a warrant for arrest. Said, hey, we got this outstanding arrest for your warrant. Here, come with us. So that started my process as an adult on probation and that. So I think out of the many years I've been alive on this earth, I think it's 20-some years I've been on parole, probation, or something in my life. Jump forward, I got 7 DWIs, been convicted of 6 of them, about 5 felonies. Society calls me a violent person. Bottom line. But I don't call me a violent person. I know if I drink whiskey or get drunk or something, I become a violent person, but I ain't right now. So it is in there. It's always ready to flare up if I let it. But through God and my testimony and other people's testimony, it won't. So that's a little bit of it.
I want to ask you a question, and then we'll get back, because I'd like to know, when did you give your life to Christ?
All right, so
now, you can say the first time and then the for real time or whatever, you know? If you were
Yes,
blessed
sir. Yes,
enough
sir.
for it to happen at one time.
Yeah, so when, all right, so I guess now I'm about to jump back to my childhood. All right, so when I was a child, we used to go to church, Rock Springs Church. I love it. Bringing in my cousin into this, we was more the age group. My cousin wanted to hang out with my brother. My brother didn't want to hang out with my cousin and me because we was young. Bottom line. So me and him hang out quite a bit. So we lived right there by the church. Me and my cousin, we'd come in there, and I love that about that church. We'd come in there covered in cow manure. Literally, and we'd come in there and have service. We was kids, but still, it's just the point of it. I thought back then I got baptized in the old Kings River, but I didn't. Come find out it was my brother that got baptized.
Yeah.
So when I decided to give my life to the Lord, I was 31. I was going to turn 31. It was the 2000, or when I was 30, 2020 or 10. I was sitting in Carroll County Detention Center doing a 6-month stint for hitting my ex-wife and her daughter in the back end. I was there, so we'll just jump forward or jump back again. So I went from 20 to 22. I got paroled out. When I got out of prison, out of the RPF, I come back here. My cousin, I got out on a Friday. I went back with my mom that time. Then I didn't come back to my dad's out here till Monday. I seen my cousin, so I went and stopped visiting my cousin. I didn't know at the time he was under investigation for a murder charge. They arrested him that Monday. That same day I seen him, they arrested him when he went to court for capital murder, and he's doing 2 lives or a life without parole. They snatched him away then. So I never get his hug him again except for then. It's always jacked with me because a lot of his trouble probably came from me or my family, my mom, or vice versa, or somebody that gave that guy drugs or whatever. He's like me. We don't need to do methamphetamine. We can do some stupid stuff and not even think twice about it until it's too late. Until you got to be chastised or until the law gets involved or whatever. So they end up. So that was on a Monday. Took him, bam, right. So keep him there. And that's another one of my testimony. All right, so where was we at again, boss?
Give your life to Christ.
The jail. Oh yeah. So we was the Christmas before. I've been drinking. I got married the July of the year before. We had been together like 4 years. Good lady. awesome family. I still have a lot of respect for their family. They still send me Christmas cards, but I still wouldn't quit drinking. I would go to AA. I'd get in trouble or something, and they'd tell me I could go to AA, and yeah, I'd go fake it till you make it kind of thing. I would always, no matter what, take something from there, even if it was a little phrase that somebody said, or vice versa. I never did go out there empty-handed. Even though I wasn't doing a program at all, but I was still listening. I mean, because I knew something was better than what I was doing. So I was married for 3 years, out to her for 3 years, 6 years. 6 months I was out. The rest of the time I was locked up in prison. But by the time I got out, she'd had 2 kids with another previous guy. But this is how my God works too. Before my 6 months, I got sent back up here to Berry County, and they wanted to give me a 120 shock, they call it, and then start your probation over and I had a 5-year probation sentence and a 3-year backup. 3 year or 3 years prison sentence. Hell, I done 6 months. I was like, hell no, I want to do 3 years. I'm ready.
Yeah.
But so I'm sitting up here 2 weeks in Berry County to go to prison, the big house in Missouri, and no RPF kind of thing. And had a dream that I seen them sitting outside of Tyson's, sitting beside each other. I think it was the following day. I got a letter in the mail. Here, dear John, hey, got to inform you that I've been seeing whoever. I was like, all right. So that held my time, because this whole time, in the 6 months I've been saved, I've been doing all these Bible studies and getting fed up, and or getting eat up or whatever, and trying to get all I could, because I knew all I had was time to work out and read the Word and try to learn about it. I done good. So when I got out, I tried, but I knew in my heart if I failed with her first kid, with 2 other, and she wanted, and I didn't want to put I wanted to bless that family. I cursed that family just for me being what I was. So, and I said I wouldn't become my dad, but I bet you $100 I was my dad. I would, nothing more to say. And I said the whole time I wasn't going to become that drunk. I wasn't going to become somebody beat on somebody. Yeah. So if they're still out there, apologize. They know so.
Forgiveness.
Oh yeah, forgiveness is always there. But we gotta ask for it too. So I'm 23 then. All right. So this is where it gets the good stuff gets. So being Stephen and my mom didn't live very good, healthy lives. So Stephen couldn't parole out to my mom, so I had to go to my dad's. I've always had a room at my dad's house, even though when I paroled out. So my dad told me a little secret. He goes, all right, we got a bathroom. You got to walk right by their bed to get to that bathroom. He goes, hey man, you can pee in a 2-liter bottle and just make sure to pour it out in the morning. Yeah, well, there end up being 20 2-liter bottles, and they didn't get poured out. So and I know my dad seen that, and he would tell me to clean my room and certain things. I used to. So when I first got out, I didn't masturbate once in prison. But as soon as I got out, I got that freedom or whatever, and got that porno or that computer. Man, I was a little worried there. I thought I would never stop doing that because it's always been a problem over the years and years. Because my parents told me, man, stop playing with it, it'll grow. Yeah. I didn't know that. It does. You stop playing with it, grows. So, and it was a little trick. You got to tell any little kids out there. But
and that's another addiction.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's totally different. That's a totally different world. See, all right. So that's the pit of. So I've done my testimony twice. The last time I done out in civilized, I told them about that, and it's like, ooh, there's a girlfriend. She got up and walked out, went to the bathroom. She come back, but that's over. My testimony's over with. Then, because it hurt my feelings, and she went back to the back room and just sit there. And I was like, what? I asked her, why'd you do it? It's just, that's a lot. Yeah. I was like, I didn't even get to the good stuff. That ain't where God worked. That is where I was in my mess. That ain't the big picture.
Yeah.
So it really affected me. I still love her. I mean, I still loved her. But just that fact, so I asked you to make sure nobody could interrupt, because I didn't want that. I mean, I want to, because just the outside of spears of the darts of God, or the Lord, Satan.
Yeah.
But, so I told him testimony, right? So.
Yeah.
So I'm 23. I used to do all that. I used to masturbate profusely, all nonstop. So this went on for about 5 years, and I ended up seeing that girl.
I love that you're honest, man.
Oh, see, that's
That's the
part of my
best thing.
testimony.
That's the
So
best thing
so
about
back
it.
even back then, when I tried to get sober and start, I quit lying. I don't want to lie, because that will lead to the.
Oh, yeah.
That would,
Yeah.
because that's how I got you to believe me.
You
Look
can't-
me in the eyes and
Can't
tell
keep
you.
up with them all.
Yeah,
man.
you can't keep on. That's what a good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather hurt somebody's feelings than
Yeah.
start lying to them, because that's just from my testimony part of it. And don't get me wrong, I want to tell little lies, but I try not to. I try not to hard.
That's right. That's right.
So so I was 23 or so. This went on for a couple years. Then met her, another lady, and we ended up getting married. That's when I got married too. So I moved out, but I've always had a room at my dad's. So my dad told me back then, he goes, "You need to quit what you're doing, or you're going to end up in prison."
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think he told me that on a Christmas or Thanksgiving, and I ended up with that before New Year's. I was going back to prison. And there ain't nothing I can do about it, but I wanted to change. That's when I sincerely asked God in my heart, and I kept him there. Because all them years of going in and out of jail and all that, and I mean, I'd get refreshed and all that, and as soon as I got out, I'd want a cigarette, and I'd leave him back in there. All that I said, and that was a lot of my dedication to the Lord to get me through the Missouri time or just anything. And I'm thankful for it, and I wouldn't change. I won't change that. I'm loyal to him.
Well, you so tell me a little bit about CMA.
Oh, it's their motto is just changing one heart at a time. And the way so that's something about CMA. So my dad, no, we haven't got even to this stuff. So I'm 27. I'll get there to CMA. All right. So I'm 27. And my dad told me that, or 30, and my dad told me I was going to have to go to prison. So I went to prison. Where did I have to bond parole out to? Was my dad's house again. See, that was on June 13th, 2012. And
Oh, that's when I met you.
maybe, yeah, I went
Right
out
after
of
that.
prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I got paroled out there on the 13th of June. And being 30 years old, so I got out and I was doing, we do sack lunches on Tuesday. We'd go take them around the motel. I had a church on Wednesday. I done a CR or AA, two other nights, and Sunday we had church at Sunday morning and Sunday morning. So I was keeping my time busy. My dad at the time was the president of our local light brigade. It is a Christian motorcycle company or outfit. They do, they're like their saying is just changing the world one heart at a time. And, I mean that's a selfless group there. So he's the president of it. I had to throw out to him. So he's seen all this. It was about a month, and they had their first meeting. Dad asked me to stop by, and did, and a bunch of people I knew and all that. And my dad said he was proud of me. Yeah, and that's the first time my dad ever said he was proud of me. And I'll tell you that. I mean, that's the truth. And
That's awesome.
and nobody could ever say that.
That's a big day,
Oh
man.
yeah, that was a big day because after all this stuff I see my brother go through not being good enough and all that. It's a good thing. Nobody can take that away. I'll still serve the Lord just because of that little moment right there.
Yeah.
But so that was about a month after me getting paroled out. August 29th or 24th, we buried my great uncle, my dad's uncle, that Friday. That's the jump back. So the week of that week, so I mentioned my dad. So since I'm 30 years old, and he said he was going to build a 2-car garage. And I said, hey Dad, man, just put a room upstairs or something, and where I can go up there. He's like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. 'Cause, I mean, he always said I always got the place. I mean, he was going to give me an acre and put a trailer in due time and all that. But I'm fresh out of parole. I mean, I didn't blame that. He's like, oh yeah. And he's just talking to one of his friends about it because who was going to help him build it. And my stepmom heard it. So for that week, I'd come home from work. I mean, I went straight to work and doing all this. I come home and oh yeah. So when I got paroled out, too, my dad asked me to pay a third of the bills, no matter what. So yeah, is that it? You sure you don't want me to pay half or something? He's like, no, there's 3 of us in the house. You pay a third. Yes, sir. And groceries and everything. So the week of that, I'd come home, whatever, food would be put up. I could sense something was wrong with my stepmom, towards me. I mean, most definitely. Like I'd come home and she'd go in another room and put a blind up. It hurt me. It hurts. But see, that went on for 3 days. Or that was the Wednesday. So my dad fasted for 3 days. On Wednesday, I come home and he's like, man, I just don't know and all this. And he asked me, I was smoking a cigarette. He goes, hey, give me a cigarette. I said, but see, this is the part I know. His testimony, I know that so he was doing a relief center or relief outfit or going down disaster relief down in the coast when they have hurricanes and stuff.
Yeah.
The church was, and he was going out on the balcony and smoking. And he wasn't smoking around his brothers, his Christian brothers, because he didn't want them to see. And man, the Holy Spirit worked on him that day. He threw him off that balcony or whatever and gave him up. It had been a couple of years he quit smoking. He asked me that because I heard his testimony going into the detention center and stuff. He asked me for a cigarette. I said, no, buddy, you got more money in the checking account than I do. You can go buy your own.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, let's square this away. We went in there and talked. Come find out, yeah, she heard it, and it was just over that, and she thought I was getting a house built for me or something.
Oh, yeah.
And we made it whatever right. We buried my uncle his uncle on a Friday. He left on a Saturday to go on his birthday vacation or whatever. I told him, hey, party like you're 40. And he was 60-something. So, he made it to Fort Wayne, he made it up north somewhere, and then they went out to the coast, and it's coming back to Fort Wayne, Indiana, or Indianapolis, Indiana, to NHRA, because that's what we love. We like big drag races and all that, because that's where all the horsepower is at. They was gonna stop there that night, but I guess it was the wrong exit or whatever. He had a trailer on his motorcycle. It was a no helmet law state, so he didn't wear his helmet. The bike ran over him, and the trailer. That was on like a Sunday or Monday. He was all jacked up, and my stepmom was injured. She had a helmet on. So her family, one of them flew out there, maybe for fresh out of parole, at my dad's house. I took the new car that he got. I probably could have gotten in a lot of trouble over it, but I still took it as his. I wouldn't change leaving, because I didn't ask for permission to leave.
Yeah.
I just done it. And I took whatever I could to get to my dad, and I'll still do that. It went on for 7 weeks. I stayed at Fort Wayne, Indiana. He was way off. They had most of his skull out. So I mean, it's just crazy. You can see all that going on. Before we let him go, we done some more tests. Nobody was home. He was almost up to $1 million on the bill. So they was going to keep him bedridden. But this is where it's cool of it. Before he left out on that Wednesday, he goes, yeah, I want to be, and that's how our God works. He told me, he's like, yeah, I want to be buried in my vest. I'm going to be right over here by my brother, his son, and Yeah, Rock Springs. You get the place, the property, and yeah, that was how it was. And then, so he had his wreck, and that's just how that little bit. I mean, not even 5 days later. So this went on. I was struggling because in Fort Wayne, Indiana, I don't know nobody. I'm from Arkansas. I can do whatever I want, get away with what I want. But no, I couldn't. Because God was still watching me. I didn't. I wanted to drink that time up there, but I didn't. It took. So we ended up letting him go. Because and all my stepmom wanted to do was be in the same building where he'd see him.
Yeah.
But different cares. I mean, he was way up here and she was way down there. She was still and she was on La La Land. And they had her doped up, so she was. So we ended up getting him back, and that's when you see that ugly people.
Yeah.
And my dad also said my stepmom could stay there till the day she died. Because she got an old man, she'd have to move out. No biggie. I didn't care about that. I guess my uncle might have said something to her. I don't know. So when we squared it all away, she come in. They come in and got what they wanted and left, like vultures. And I'm glad they took a lot of family heirlooms, but the good stuff they left. They left that box telling about my brother that he done everything. He tried to do everything he could to get my brother out, to save him. But and that's how the God works.
Yeah. Left out behind for you to
Yeah, and all the old records, all his stuff. That's what I wanted. And no way, I still got it. I ain't gonna get rid of it. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, it's part of him. So yeah. So they come in and it's just been a hay. So I made it probably 6 months. So I inherited, so my dad did leave me some stock. I didn't know this about stock. I never did know nothing about it. But the longer you wait, the better it is. So I got a big lump sum of stock. I sold half of it. I got the house. I didn't never get it in my eyes. The property still is not in my name. It's going on 10 years now in October. I got the rights to live there as long as I want or whatever, but it ain't fine with me. No offense, I'll move somewhere else. If that ain't my dad's, because I'm gonna let my dad rest now. So I'm gonna keep on serving the Lord, but I got somebody to look up to. No matter what, I'm done with them chains of weighing me down. But so I sold half of them right off the bat and put $25,000 in the house, started remodeling it. Then I sold the other half for another a little bit more money. Come to find out, if I waited a year and a half, I'd have been $250,000 richer. So, yeah. So I didn't know that about stock, but I do now, and I still got some. So it's all. It is what it is. That's something I learned. But so I made it 6 months. I didn't. Without drinking, I ended up backsliding. Got a brand new truck to me, $10,000 paid cash for it. But a month, drinking, hit a tree, smeared that one. It's gone. So, all right. So I'm still on parole and all this, and still I got a lot of money. I'm living in a motel because my house is getting remodeled. It was on a Friday. I was doing metal buildings right here in Wrinkles Springs, right over across the road at Exxon. My parole lock is on a Friday, rainy. I'm on my dad's Harley because I wrecked my brand new truck. And so I weren't riding his Harley because it's the only thing I had to ride. So I come bebopping out with a 12-pack of beer, and here come my parole officer coming in. So, Stephen, what are you doing? I said, off work, so I'm just drinking. She's like, all right. She's like, what are you on? Or where are you driving or whatever? I'm like, I'm in that bike, on that bike. It is raining and all that, so. You go pour that beer out right over there, and I'll be back with you. So I had to go over there to the bench and pour it out. She went and done her thing in there, come back out. She goes, you're lucky out of court, or otherwise we'll talk more. She goes, come in first thing in Monday morning. You got somebody to come pick you up? I said, yeah, I know somebody. JR.
Yeah.
Called him. Yeah, him. He said, all right, talk to him. Be right there. Where? At Exxon. So She made me pour my beer out. I got help coming on the way, and she left. Since she left, I went in and got another 12-pack, got on that Harley, went to the motel room. I told him that he knew where to find me. So I had a problem. I went to a program. It's a halfway, not a halfway house, but it's a place where you work to stay there. Yeah. And it's in a sawmill, in a groundhog sawmill, and it's muddy. It ain't no, their elements are out there, just the same thing I'm doing. They wanted me to, it's a 6-month program. I told JR and them, no, I only need 3 months. Thank God somebody was praying, because it was laid on my heart to stay. If God wanted me in a 3-month program, He would have put me in 3 months. Yeah. He put me in a 6-month program, so I stayed in there. Yeah. So this whole time, so I did that, got back out. I was clean 6 years off of alcohol, 16 off of methamphetamine, because I never did do no methamphetamine back when I went the first time to prison, because I seen it do what it did to my family. Yeah. So I made it 6 years off of alcohol, a couple years off of pot. Then about 2 years ago, I backslid again. And the only reason I can tell you I did it was because I had a reservation. A lot of time during my sobriety, I would tell people that I'd come out of retirement for some good moonshine or some good green. Yeah. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. I've done that for 6 years, telling people that. Yeah. All I was doing is telling them someday I'm going to go out there and get trashed. Yeah. That's all I was doing. I didn't know that, but I know that now. So that is a goal in my life to not make no reservations for anything, and always have escape route. I got 6 months clean, and I won't go nowhere with nobody without having my little fiddle pipe or something. Yeah. That way I can leave if it needs to be. It feels laid on my heart.
What do you see yourself doing in ministry? What's your heart's desire?
See, that's where I don't want to be in public. I don't like being up on stage. I don't like. I hate it. I hate the sound of my voice. I hate hearing my voice.
I'm with you on all that.
I would love to be the servant for the day I die, because I am a servant. I've always, I know where this lies at. I don't want to be in public eye view. I do occasionally, and you know what's happened when I do get up there, because just like right now, I'm going to ask for a lot of prayer for me, because just being this bold and speaking out by God and the good things God does in my life.
Satan and his little minions are going to be messing with you.
Oh yeah, no, and all right. So that's another thing about my little testimony. So I've got 2 years. I got 6 months clean right now. Woo-hoo. 2 years into it, I've done a 30-day deal, rehab, and that was another one. I had an 8-ball at the house, and it was telling all these people that I want to be clean and all this. Yeah. All I did was go right back out there and get high again after 30 days. I thank God that I've cleaned my house. I know I can stand being around somebody doing that. It's going to be constantly me choosing to change what I'm doing to go use. So where was I going now? All right, so I got 6 months clean. I don't know where I was going now.
You know, I want you to know that, like I said earlier, we are very thankful for having you a part of Couple Love, because you've been with us since we started, and you are an awesome dude, man. And we got a lot of things. We make you do a lot of things, and you never say no, and you do anything from take out the trash to unclog a toilet or whatever we gotta do, and I'm thankful for that, man, and I know that no matter what life has in store for you, that you are always a part, and you are a Couple Love, and I want you to know that, man. Me and my bride, man, we love you so much, and we're just, I just can't thank you enough for being my friend.
I got two more things, boss.
All right.
I agree. You remember the Cadillac?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been clean 6 months. So 6 months and 1 week before this, I told the Lord it was on a Sunday. I still had 2 8 balls at the house. I said, Lord, I need another week. And months before, I was sincere. I gotta quit. I told him I wanted 1 more week. So that's on a Sunday. I didn't get up there in front of that altar and get on my face. So that Friday come, so I had another week. That Friday come along and I smashed that Cadillac and it was ruined. He made it laugh about it because I couldn't laugh for a month and a half because it jacked me up. But I know I told him, and he told me, and so. Yeah, it was just it was a blessing, but thank God I'm still alive. I've got numerous wrecks to account for to still be showing, but that was just one that's where God showed me that he's real, and he does chastise his people. He does, you push and he'll push back. I mean, I ain't gonna say that. So just here the other day. Man, I've been bombarded by it. So it's Thursday. Somebody on Facebook or Messenger we got a CMA prayer deal for us, a prisoner, to go in there, and it popped up again, and somebody wanted prayer. Man, and Thursday, all these bombarding. Man, I found out some bad news about what I thought was supposed to happen, and it wasn't. Man, these darts are coming, boy, they bam, 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 hurting, and I'm thinking crazy stuff, and that ain't from me. And I asked for prayer. First I prayed, then and I was like, oh yeah, see, man, I prayed for them. I was like, all right, what else am I supposed to do for a Christian walk? Oh yeah, read the Bible, open the Bible. So I was like, bam, right up Daniel, verse 1, chapter 1. I'm reading it. I'm like, man, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, Lord, come on. I'm still crying like a little girl and all this for the whole time. And then I was like, all right, I got to put on some praise and worship music. Boy, I went up there and it was like, have that courage like Daniel to face the lion. And I was like, oh, just laughed, cried, and all this. And I've been weeping for the last couple days. Thank God today I haven't really weeped. But yeah, because even Friday, the guy I work with, so when I wrecked my Cadillac, they put me in my work said, all right, we're going to take your driving privilege. So I've been riding passenger for a while now.
And riding his bike in the freezing cold.
Yeah, that ain't me. But I got a few more 10 more months to ride passenger. But I was just sitting over there Friday with my glasses on, tears, and he looked over at me and just kept on driving.
Yeah.
Done it twice, and like, he knew not to, but I ended up telling him what was going on. But that's just how my God works, and I know God's real. I mean, I can go on and on about different things where He saved me, showed up, and showed out, and I'm just blessed to be part of this ministry and all the ministries that I do. I fall short every day, but and that's another thing about my prison. When I go into prison, try to go visit prisons, my past comes to haunt me every time. People don't want me in prison or want me back in like that to visit with people, because that was an awesome feeling. It was scary at first, the first time, but that night when I come out and that door shut behind me and I was free, it was an awesome feeling. And that's where I knew because I seen CMA, I seen some elders of CMA that do prison ministry, been doing it for bukus of years, and I just seen the love in them and showing towards a complete stranger or friend, even friends in there that they know over the lives, and that's just a lot. It's a cool thing. I think that's about it for now. I love you too.
Well, you got to save some for the next time you come.
Oh yeah, he's working every day. But yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope I didn't go too long.
No, there is not too long. I just I thank you, brother, for coming, and I know it takes a lot to get out and talk about these things, topics that are very serious, and some of them people just, they don't even think about it, and some of them, they don't even think that is sin. That once you give your life to Christ, that Holy Spirit and just works on you and says, you know, oh yeah, that's sin.
Yeah.
You know? and that's like a big aha moment. It's like, what? I never even thought, I thought that was normal, or, you know, doesn't everybody do that and think like that, you know? And it's just amazing, man, and what a fantastic testimony, and thank you so much. And I do, before we close in prayer, thank you, brother. I want to make sure that you, if you want to give your testimony, please call or text us, and yeah. And, you know, I hear people say all the time, well, I don't have a testimony. Yeah, right. Everybody's got a story to tell. It may not be as crazy as mine or Stephen's, but it is still the story of what brought you from where you were to where you're at. And to be able to speak to people and show them, say, hey, Christ dug me out of that hole. Like you said, them chains, man, they're broken, you know, and whenever you get tempted by stuff, just lean on the Lord, you know, and I ask you that if you want to give your testimony, please come anytime, and we do it on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, and we're gonna hopefully be able to start taping some testimonies and different times of the day as soon as we get our recording figured out. We're always having problems with sound recording something around here, and that's just telling me that we're on the right track doing what we're supposed to be doing. But I love you guys, and I just thank you so much, and I'm gonna have my brother close us out in prayer. Close us out.
Yes, sir. Dear Heavenly Father, just thank you again for this day, Father. Just ask you to bless the people out there, Father, that are hearing it, Father, make it known in their life, your will for them in their life, Father. By your bruises and your stripes and your cuts, Father, I'm called worthy to come in front of people to tell them about my testimony, Father. Just ask for safety for everybody tonight, Father. Most ask for strength for anybody struggling, anything hindering our walks, Father. And, we just want to lift up a couple of them, and I love them too, in Jesus' precious holy name.
Amen. And I forgot one more thing he does. He's also the cameraman. I love you guys. Good night. Thank you.